No one builds tomorrow in a single day. The future doesn't appear fully formed when you wake up motivated, and it doesn't show up as a reward for one isolated decision. It's shaped slowly, almost quietly, by the choices you make today, especially the ones that seem too small to matter. The problem is that almost everyone underestimates the power of today. People treat the present like something temporary, something they just have to endure until tomorrow arrives. But tomorrow isn't a separate place. It's being created right now, in every action you repeat, in every commitment you honor or abandon. There's a comfortable fantasy that says that someday, everything will just make sense. That one day you'll wake up with total clarity, endless energy, and unshakable motivation. That on that day, doing what needs to be done will finally feel easy. That fantasy keeps a lot of people stuck waiting for the perfect emotional state to act. But while they wait, time passes, and the tomorrow that could be under construction keeps getting postponed. The truth is, almost nothing important is built on motivation. Motivation is unstable, unpredictable, and short-lived. What actually builds the future is persistence applied on ordinary days, tired days, boring days, days when nothing seems to be happening. Persistence is continuing after the excitement is gone, after the results didn't show up, after doubt starts creeping into your thoughts. That's when tomorrow begins to take shape. Everyone likes the idea of a better future, but few like the process it requires. Because the process is repetitive, it's boring, it's thankless, it offers no guarantees and no immediate recognition. It asks you to do today what will only make sense much later. And that's exactly why so many people quit too early, not because they're incapable, but because they're impatient. Tomorrow is built with today's persistence, not with grand promises, not with perfect plans, but with sustainable action, with the basics done well, with simple decisions repeated over time. The problem is that those decisions rarely feel heroic. They feel too small to be proud of, and so they get ignored, postponed, or abandoned. You may know this feeling well. You start something with full force, full expectation. In the first few days, everything flows. Then reality shows up. Progress slows down, effort increases, returns diminish. That's when the mind starts asking questions. Is this worth it? Am I wasting my time? Is this really going anywhere? Those questions don't show up because you're wrong. They show up because you've entered the phase where persistence is required. Most people stop right there. They confuse discomfort with failure. They confuse silence with defeat. They confuse delay with inability. And by doing that, they abandon the process at the exact point where it would start changing who they are. Because before persistence transforms results, it transforms identity. When you persist even without visible results, something changes inside you. You begin to see yourself as someone who keeps their word, someone who doesn't rely on motivation to act, someone who continues despite circumstances. That internal shift is invisible, but powerful. It creates an emotional foundation that supports everything you'll build later. Tomorrow isn't built in moments of success. It's built long before that, when no one is watching, when you choose to get up even when you're tired, when you decide not to quit even when you're frustrated, when you do what needs to be done without applause. Each of those choices sends a quiet message to the future. You're arriving prepared. There's a critical point in every journey where nothing seems to change on the outside, but everything is being adjusted on the inside. That point is dangerous because it's where most people quit. They look around, see others moving forward, comparisons creep in, anxiety grows, and then they make emotional decisions instead of long-term ones. But those who get through that point build something rare: consistency. Consistency isn't extreme intensity. It's sustainable continuity. It's doing what you can every day without destroying yourself, without needing the perfect emotional state. It's understanding that some days you'll move faster, some days slower, but what matters is not stopping. Because stopping breaks the invisible accumulation that was being built. The future doesn't respond to bursts of effort. It responds to patterns. It responds to what you do repeatedly. That can be frustrating for anyone who wants everything fast, but it's freeing for those who understand the game. Because once persistence becomes your strategy, you stop depending on luck, motivation, or ideal conditions. Maybe right now the effort feels bigger than the return. Maybe you're wondering if it's worth continuing. That doubt doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're in the middle of the process. And the middle is always the most uncomfortable place because you're no longer who you were, but you're not yet where you want to be. The tomorrow you want isn't far away in time. It's far away in consistent decisions. Every day you choose to persist, you shorten that distance even if you don't realize it, even if it feels insignificant. Time works in favor of those who don't quit too early. Persistence means accepting that not every day will be inspiring, that you won't always feel confident, that certainty won't always be there. But it also means understanding that none of those things are requirements to continue. Continuing is a decision, not a feeling. There is something deeply transformative about realizing you don't need to feel motivated to act, that you can act despite fatigue, doubt, and fear. That realization changes how you see the future. You stop seeing it as fragile, dependent on external factors, and start seeing it as a direct consequence of your daily posture. Tomorrow is built when you choose not to abandon what you started, when you honor small commitments, when you show up even when no one is demanding it, when you continue without knowing exactly when the results will appear. That kind of persistence doesn't attract attention, but it builds something solid. Many people spend their entire lives waiting for the right moment, but the right moment rarely comes with a warning. It's created when you act despite uncertainty, when you build capacity before you need it, when you prepare today for an opportunity that doesn't even exist yet. If you stop now, you might relieve the immediate discomfort, but you also interrupt the quiet construction of tomorrow that was already underway. If you keep going, you may not see results for a while, but you'll be strengthening something no one can take from you, the confidence that you can persist. And that confidence changes everything. It changes how you face challenges, how you deal with failure, how you relate to time, because you begin to understand that the future isn't something that happens to you. It's something you build. Maybe no one is recognizing your effort right now. Maybe no one is applauding. Maybe it feels like you're walking alone. But remember this, almost everything worth having is built this way, in silence, in repetition, in daily persistence that no one sees but time records. Tomorrow won't ask whether you were motivated. It will reflect exactly what you did today. Every choice counts. Every step matters. Every day you don't quit moves your life in a different direction. If you feel like this message is speaking directly to you, if you know you need to keep going even while tired, leave a comment sharing which area of your life you're building right now. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay here, because tomorrow doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's built day after day by the persistence of today.